Hi there, Edie Charoni here, and before we jump into today's episode, I wanted to let you know that I have a new resource you want to get your hands on, so let me tell you exactly how. If you're in the aftermath of infidelity and you want to stay in your relationship but just can't seem to heal and regain trust, or you're unable to believe it's not going to happen again, or maybe you just can't get far beyond the hurt because it's deeper than anything you've ever experienced. No matter where you're stuck in the healing process, I can help you get back on track to healing in a way that supports your integrity, your needs, and your specific situation. So, to assist you with all of this, I've created a free online masterclass called Forgiving and Forgetting is Not the Key to Healing After Infidelity, where I'm going to walk you through the 3 steps that I've successfully used with my recovering after infidelity couples over the past 8 years. I'm going to break each of those steps down for you inside of the masterclass so you can come out more hopeful and with a clear healing path. So all you need to do is go to edicharoni.com/masterclass and save your seat on this free masterclass. You do not want to miss this. Once again, edicharoni.com/masterclass. Okay, now let's get to today's episode.
You're listening to the Relationships Uncomplicated podcast. Relationship advice so valuable, you won't believe it's free. And now your host, relationship expert, Edith Charoni.
Welcome back to another episode of Relationships Uncomplicated podcast, episode number 65. I'm your host, Edith Charoni, and today I talk about how to get an expert to help your relationship without having to see one. And in the end of this episode, I will walk you through 5 steps you should follow if you want to work with an expert in the couples therapy field without having to become their patient. So stick with me till the end. Deal? Okay, now let's dive into our topic. So when you're facing an acute issue in your relationship, and I'm not talking about the occasional arguing or bickering, I'm talking about serious issues like considering divorce or finding out your partner had an affair or maybe having a sex-starved marriage. Very painful issues that couples sometimes have to deal with. So when you go through something like this, you want an expert to help you. I mean, if you need surgery, you obviously want the best surgeon with the most experience to do your surgery, right? You're not just going to go to anyone telling you that they can perform this procedure. You'll ask for recommendation, you'll read about it, you'll get some names and research the heck out of those names online. At least that's what I would do, right? So the same happens when you desperately need to save your relationship. You look for recommendation, you'll read about the treatment, you'll look for an expert, and you're very likely to find one. But the problem is that they might not be available to work one-on-one with you, either because they're booked up for the next 3 months, or they're not in your area or your state, or they may not offer ongoing services to new clients anymore, or their fees are going to be higher than what you can pay at this point. So what do? Well, I'll share with you today exactly how to work with that expert because there are some new and really cool cutting-edge methods that experts in the field of couples therapy offer to help couples without seeing them in the therapy room. So you'll see how anyone from anywhere basically can be helped by the best experts out there. And I'll tell you something else. It usually is a fraction of the cost it would be to actually see those experts in session. In the past, it wasn't easy to find the best of the best unless you had insight from another person who went to them or you got a really good referral from someone. But even then, those experts were and still are quite full and sometimes even with a waiting list. I know I am there sometimes having to ask my administrative assistant to start a waiting list. So as much as I want to be accessible to new clients, I also want to maintain a quality caseload where I'm fully present for my couples that I actually see. So I find that here and there, I call my administrative assistant and I say something like, hey, we're going to have to start a waiting list. And please tell everyone who calls from now on that I'm fully booked for the next whatever weeks. Here's another situation I face many times, and this is where couples email me from all over the world after getting inspired by one of my podcast episodes usually, and they ask for help. They ask if I can help them personally. So up until not long ago, I really had no solution for those couples, and I'd always write back telling them that I'm sorry, but I'm not able to help them personally, and that's due to my license regulations. And I don't know if you know this, but basically, when you're licensed in a specific state in the US, you're not allowed to perform therapy for clients or for people that are outside of your state where you're licensed. So I've sent, I don't know, maybe hundreds of letters of emails back to people letting them know that unfortunately I'm not able to see them, even though we have online therapy today, right? But here's that situation. So after years of utilizing waiting lists and emailing back to disappoint couples, I felt that there has to be a better way to help more people. So that happened for a while until a new breed of treatment came into life, thanks to really amazing experts willing to share their superpowers beyond the therapy room. We now have a completely transformed world of help from the best of the best. So what did I do? I jumped right into that, right? I jumped on that as soon as I realized that this is going to transform how couples get their hands on the best help out there with a few clicks of a button. Okay. You probably want to know, what am I talking about, right? So couples today have more options to get help healing their relationship than ever before. And I'm not talking about more books or more blog posts. Those were there for a while now. I'm talking about real expert therapists making it possible for couples to reach them, learn from them, and get their services outside the therapy room and in the comfort of their homes or offices, utilizing digital programs or courses or workshops. But before I tell you all about those, let's see why something like a digital program is something so many couples are utilizing today more than ever before. So what I want you to do is just see if you can find yourself in any of the following descriptions. Number 1, you think you need couples therapy, but your partner is not on board and won't go with you. Or number 2, you tried therapy before, but it wasn't helpful, or the therapist didn't really specialize in couples, so you kind of dropped out. Or number 3, you believe you can solve your issues, as severe as they may be, if you only had the right tools. Or maybe you can't afford therapy with a real expert. You don't have time for it, or the expert you want is just unavailable. Another option can be you are in therapy, it is going well, but you feel like you need some extra help. And the last one I would share with you, and I think is probably the biggest one of them all, is that there is so much shame around what you're going through that sharing that, even with a therapist, is just not an option for you. If you find yourself in one of these descriptions, then you are in good company with many other couples and individuals in relationships unable to reach the help they so desperately need. This is where the digital world comes in. I mean, people develop such amazing platforms for people all over the world to connect, right? So Why not use that to help you? Okay, so a few experts in the past couple of years started creating online digital courses for specific relationship issues where couples get access through a login. And once they're in, they are learning from the experts themselves how to heal or fix their relationship. Let me give you some examples. Esther Perel is one of my favorite couples therapists who wrote books and has 2 TED Talks that are very, very successful online. In the past few years, Esther noted that she's no longer available for ongoing cases, which makes it almost impossible to see her as a long-term therapist. So as much as you love her work and appreciate her ideas, you may not be able to use it for your relationship had she not created her online courses for couples. And I'm going to share a link to her Rekindling Desire online workshop. Another great example of this is by the Gottman Institute, who've been researching couples' relationships in the past 4 decades. They offer the Art and Science of Love workshops, either live or in digital copies. So couple can purchase those copies and go through the workshop on their own, and I'll definitely share the link to those in the show notes as well. And I should probably mention myself as well. So as you probably know, I specialize in affair recovery and have been helping couples in the aftermath of infidelity in the past 8 years. So I've become an expert in affair recovery. I offer an online program called It's Okay to Stay, which is a roadmap to healing after infidelity. It's really an A to Z implementation program that takes couples from the crisis after the revelation all the way to regaining a loving and trusting relationship with their partners. It includes 4 modules and 15 lessons. Everything is accompanied by implementation tools like blueprints, action planners, exercises, etc., etc. I can talk about this until tomorrow, but I'm going to put a link to learn more about it in the show notes. It's essentially a link to the free masterclass I was talking about before. So you'll not only learn something, but you'll also get a lot of information about the program and an invitation to join me in my signature program. So when I got specialized in affair recovery and I got all those emails from people all over the US and other countries asking if I can help them, I realized that I'll never have the capacity to see everyone, even if I wanted to. When I saw therapists like Esther Perel and the Gottmans offering their help via digital programs, at first I thought, nah, that's not going to work. But the more emails and calls from couples I had to refuse, not because I didn't want to help them, but because either I didn't have time on my schedule or they were not in my area or any other issues, the more I got those, the more I felt really bad for not serving these couples with what I know for sure can help them save their relationship after betrayal. So I took it upon myself to come up with a digital course. At first, I had to create the content by reviewing what has been most helpful to my couples and the best way to turn it into video classes where people can learn and implement the tools that I teach. Then I recorded everything into video lessons and added supporting materials such as the blueprints and action planners and all kinds of things that will help you take what I say in the video into real action with your partner. Then I had to find the perfect platform to put it all into, so members of my course have the most comfortable access to their materials. And then I was ready to launch. All of this took a little over a year, almost 2 years, I would say, to create and to perfect. And I have a problem with perfectionism. So believe me, I went over this hundreds of times probably. Anyway, I'm a recovering perfectionist, so here I am, admitting that for sure. It might be good for the end product, but it definitely slowed down the whole creation part of it. But whatever, it's ready and it's working, so, enjoy that. Now I feel that my mission, or maybe my next step in my mission, is to educate couples about that amazing option. I realize it takes a bit of a mind shift. I mean, when you struggle in the aftermath of infidelity, taking an online course may not be the first thing that comes to mind. Why? Because it's new, it's innovative, and it's not what we're used to. So when you find out about infidelity, you go into crisis and you'll do all kinds of things. You're going to maybe talk to people. You're going to maybe sink into your own loneliness and pain. And at some point, you might get a little resourceful. You'll start reading everything about it. And you might even reach out for therapy if this is, consuming and it's really, really hard. And some people may get stuck in that healing process. They don't really know what else to do. So you might not think of a digital program or an online course as your first option to help you heal and regain trust. And to be quite honest, sometimes it's not the right solution. I'm not saying that this is the solution for everybody, right? So here are some things that you might be thinking. You might be thinking, well, it's not like therapy, so how can this help us? And you're right, it isn't therapy, but that doesn't mean that it cannot help you. Sure, therapy, when it is done with a really good specialized couples therapist, it is the ultimate solution. But what if you don't have access to that? Or what if you have an amazing empathetic therapist who connects with you on so many levels, but isn't a big expert on infidelity recovery or lost desire? Actually, some of my online program members took my course as a supplement for their own therapy. And now that I think about it, my course probably includes more and is more streamlined than my sessions. Also, the fact that I offer a lifetime access literally lets you go back and relearn and implement again anytime you want. And that happens a lot when you have an online course where you can always go back to it. You might also be thinking, okay, well, how do I know this specific content is going to help me? I'd say you're absolutely right here as well. In that case, I'll definitely look for as much information as possible about that course. And here's how to look. Number one, find the course webpage or a sales page and read thoroughly as possible, as it should indicate the course content and what you're getting. See if that sounds like something that you really need. The other thing I would do is contact the course creator and ask questions to make sure you can benefit from their course. And I can speak for myself. I'm always happy to answer questions. And we even have a chat box on our sales page so that people can ask and get the answers as they're on the page. And I even sometimes record a short video to answer someone just because it's more personal. The last thing I'd offer is to see if there's an introductory class to this program. We actually go the extra mile and we offer a free masterclass that not only teaches you useful information, but it also goes over exactly what the signature program is. We do that because we want you to feel completely confident that that's the right thing for your relationship. And if it's not, then we saved you from purchasing and finding out that it's not what you need, right? Okay, so what I'm noticing, and you probably noticed it too, is that people become more and more open to new avenues to help their relationships. And it's not only through digital programs, it's online therapy, online coaching, but those are different because you still may not get to the experts that you want to work with because they are, again, based on the expert's availability. Okay, so we're getting to the last part of this episode, and I want you to leave with some steps to help you navigate through working with a relationship expert without having to see one, either because they're not available to offer therapy sessions, or you may not want therapy sessions, or you can't afford their fees, and you simply want something that offers more than a self-help book or a good blog post. Okay, so ready? I have 5 steps for you. Number 1, get on that expert site. See if they offer anything other than therapy. So you're going to look for an expert for that specific issue that you're going through. Go to their site. You're probably going to find some free resources like a blog or a podcast. Yay, that's great. That's a good sign. Keep digging because they might actually offer a digital program, also known as online course or a workshop. You found that? Wonderful. Number 2, if your expert that you really like offers a digital program, see if they also provide information about what it consists of, either through a program sales page or even better, through a free webinar or the way I call it, masterclass. If you find one, sign up for it because this is where you're going to get free information and you're going to get to experience that person's teaching style and their ability to connect with you through their message. You'll also get to learn if you like that message that they offer and if you like their course. Number 3, if you're still unsure, get in touch with the course creator. Don't be afraid. Do that either through email, a phone consultation, or any other method that is offered. Tell about what it is that you're struggling with and ask if the course is right for you. I personally love it when I get those emails because I either jump on a phone call with that person or I answer them directly regarding their specific case. And sometimes, like I mentioned before, I will record a special video for that person that is very personalized where I record my answer. And for the record, I've had cases where I told people that my course is probably not the best option for them. I want to be real with you. After all, I do this because I really want you to heal and I want you to regain the lost trust. And I can't tell you how excited I am to get emails from course participants letting me know that this literally saved their relationship. I mean, this is why I do this. Number 4, if your mindset is still preventing you from going for a relatively new path of help, see if the course has a money-back guarantee. If it does, then you've nothing to lose, right? You can try it to see if you like it, and if not, you'll get a refund. But before you punch those credit card numbers and you purchase the course, just make sure that you read carefully what the money-back guarantee says, because sometimes there are certain restrictions. For me specifically, I offer a 14-day money-back guarantee, but you have to show me that you did the work and that you still are not happy. If that's the case, you'll get your investment back. Number 5, see if your course creator offers support in any shape or form. I mean, you'll need to be able to connect and get some answers if you're experiencing issues navigating the course, or you may need to consult. I offer 2 types of support. One is members-only community, where members can share, ask, support each other. And we also offer technical support and course navigation support so that people that are not sure exactly how to navigate the course, or they have all kinds of questions regarding, should I do this before? Should I do that before? We are there to help them, and we answer those emails very fast. So you want to make sure that you get an option to connect with your course creator if you need to, and it's not just, okay, buy my course and goodbye, don't ever talk to me again, Okay, so there you have it. The 5 steps to get an expert to help your relationship without having to see one. I hope this has been helpful to you. And like I mentioned, I'll put all the links to the courses that I mentioned on the episode notes. So we're about to end, and I want to quickly remind you to sign up for my masterclass, Forgiving and Forgetting is Not the Key to Healing After Infidelity, where you learn the 3 steps to putting your relationship on the right track to healing and trust building. If you're in the aftermath of infidelity and you want to heal and rebuild trust, make sure to save your seat at edithsharoni.com/masterclass. Okay, time to say goodbye. Please don't forget to subscribe to this podcast so you can get alerts when each episode is out. And I'd love it if you can rate the show on iTunes so we can get to as many couples getting this valuable information as possible. Have an amazing rest of your day or evening, wherever it is. And I can't wait to see you on our